Yeah, my name is Ayo Akinshete from Ayo Akinshete Foundation. If you remember what I said yesterday, I took us through the dynamics of the games that nations play, and I did tell us that for everyone who is so afraid, scared of what is happening between Israel and Iran, escalating to the involvement of America. You remember what I said yesterday. Now, did you hear that? Did you hear that video? Did you hear what President Donald Trump said? I'm quoting him. He said a lot of things within that very brief video, but let me just quote some diplomatic words he used. And like I said yesterday, like I did yesterday, I'm not going to use, legal terms, diplomatic terms. I want every one of us to understand what is happening. Even if you are a market woman, one of our mothers, or those are mothers selling in the market, when you watch this video, you should be able to say, now I understand. That's what I want to achieve, in all of these videos I'm making, for everybody to calm down. There's no third world war. I said it in my 2 videos ago. I said it even yesterday. I said there's no third world war. Can you see? Now, whenever you want to open an account in a bank, your local commercial banks, they will give you a form. And that form is known as KYC form. That is Know Your Customer form, And you fill the form, then you hand it to the cashier. The cashier will now file it and all of that. What it contains is your address, your age, your everything. The cashier will now file it and all of that. What it contains is your address, your age, your everything, so that in Bible, for the banks, I want to say know your word, KYW. Even our mothers and fathers in the rural areas, when they see this video, you will be able to understand. I'm not going to use legal terms like I've been doing. I've been telling us, if you want to be wicked, you'll be saying according to the diplomatic atosia, when you don't need that. Let there be communication. So I'm going to use, to the best of my knowledge, the simplest of language to explain this to us. For you to know, calm down. Be going about your normal day-to-day business. Resume to your shops tomorrow. Resume to your offices tomorrow. There is no nuclear weapon coming to you to kill you anywhere. Now, let's go. Did you hear what President Donald Trump said in that video? It actually happened in the middle of the night. I mentioned some things yesterday, and I said there is a term we use in diplomacy, international law and diplomacy, that has to do with, we call it secret diplomacy. I told us yesterday that it's not good for, the international community, but when the need arises, they use it at times. You remember Donald Trump gave, Iran 14 days, and he just started counting down. We just counted down 5 days. Before the expiration of the 14 days is 14 days, and he just started counting down. We just counted down 5 days. Before the expiration of the 14 days, a strike took place. So I want to correct many international media houses who are in a way putting fears in the spines of people, in the nerves of people. Donald Trump and America did not bomb. They did not bomb Iran. What they did, look at what Donald Trump said. They struck the nuclear weapon sites. They didn't bomb Iraq. So let us not create fears in the hearts of people. Now, Donald Trump used some words, diplomatic words. I'm going to break it down if need be. He said massive precision. That word, massive precision strikes. Massive precision strikes means that America did not join Israel to bomb Iran, but America teamed up with Israel to take out, they used the word take out, to take out the, dangerous, weapon, or let me use the word, a weapon of mass destruction that Iran was building that could be injurious and devastating to you and I in case of the future. Anything could happen and Iran could just go there and unleash what they call uranium. Hey, I wish we all know the meaning. I will get there now. I'm going to make this video very brief. I promise very brief. But you will go home with loaded knowledge about what is happening for you to know that you should calm down. No third world war. Honestly, no third world war. I was saying it yesterday. Now, let's go. What did America do in the night? Why I personally want to appreciate it is this. Donald Trump did not attack Iran. He didn't use his stealth bombers. I said something about stealth bombers of America. What's the meaning of stealth bombers? I explained to us today, for the sake of those who were not there yesterday. Stealth bombers of America. What's the meaning of stealth bombers? I explained to us today, for the sake of those who were not there yesterday. Means those bombers, that America uses to fight their enemies, so to say, that will enter into the enemy's territory without you knowing. You won't know when they are entering your waterways, and particularly they are used at the Pacific, what we call Pacific Theater. They are used at the waterways of the country they want to attack. You won't know even if you use your satellite. You won't know when they get those things into your territory. Do you understand? So we heard that America has taken those things into Iran, and America did not hide it. And I was thinking, what is America trying to do? It is whenever we have First World War, Second World War, Third World War, Fourth World War, God forbid, that we encamp at the Pacific Theater. But why are you doing there? But they only tried to do that in case of any retaliatory attack from Iranian force and their allies. That's what they tried to do. Now look at what Donald Trump did. Highly diplomatic a man. I love what he did. According to what he said to the world, he said massive precision strikes. Precision in the sense that they took out just three out of the nuclear sites of Iran. They didn't erase the whole nuclear sites. We should clap for America on this. I used the word yesterday that America is the police nation of the world. And they assumed that position since 1917. Then in the year 1945, immediately after the last strike at Nagasaki in Japan, and that was in August the 9th, 1945. That pushed Japan to Kawasaki and say, I surrender. That was the first time an atomic bomb was used in the whole world. Now, why did America do that? So why I'm clapping in a way for America is this. The words this man used, I like all the words. So it was precise strike to the entire world. Then in the first place, why on those dangerous sites that could be injurious to the entire world? Then in the first place, why is all these nations, or why are all these nations, building nuclear sites? What is the function of nuclear sites? Now, let me take us down memory lane. Yesterday, I was not academic. Today, I'm not going to be academic, but I'm going to be pictorial. When I say pictorial, I want to be diagrammatic. To you guys, I want you to understand it very well. So, I will be, okay, I can't be showing you everything, but I will just take us down memory lane. I mentioned all the years offhand yesterday. I was not using the screen. I was just, because it's what I know by the grace of God. So right now, I'm going to tell us some specifics, give us some specifics, why I personally appreciate the way America has handled this tension between Iran and the entire, world, according to what the UNO said, United Nations Organization. Now, in fact, you'll be so shocked what is happening amongst all these nations. I don't want to move. That's all wrong. I don't want dabble. I don't want to put chook mouth for them. Now they know the play. We will understand. As they are playing it, we understand. The one that concerns everyone is don't bring third world war, because nobody if you wait to see third world war, God forbid, because it's going to be nuclear war. That's the truth. That's any war between 1945, October 24th, and now. August 12th, and now is going to be nuclear war. And that's what the UNO experts have said. So we should do everything to stop, the Third World War. Experts have said. So we should do everything to stop, the Third World War. Any Third World War must not come to this. You better say amen wherever you are. And I explained to us yesterday why it led to that. Now, look at what happened. Why I appreciate the US president and his team and that of Israel for what he did on those sites and not bombing Iran. They didn't touch Iran. They only took out those dangerous elements. So get it right if you're watching me. Now, what happened something happened in August 1942. I told us the Second World War started in 1939. And what led to the Second World War? A lot of factors, but principally it was a crazy state at that time. They call them crazy states. I explained it yesterday. The meaning of crazy state. I'm not going to explain anymore. So that when you see me, I'm coming live. I will always tell us I'm coming live. Try to be here and watch me. Now, one of the crazy states at that time was Germany. Germany was everywhere. The Nazist Germany. Germany telling the whole world, I am superior to you. Whenever a German citizen was moving on the street and you meet that German citizen, you must bow. If you don't bow, they deal with you at that time. So at that time, Germany was the superpower nation across the world. So, and the other, countries of the world were watching Germany. And what an average, what an average country hates at the international community is somebody claim, what an average country hates at the international community is somebody claiming that I am superior to you. We are all sovereign, for crying out loud. So, but the why experts will call the Germany at that time, the Adolf Hitler's Germany. Adolf Hitler was so brutal against the entire world. If you are not a German at that time, they believe you are not a citizen, you are a second-class citizen. And at that point, if he even stopped at that, it would have been better. You won't believe Adolf Hitler was taking this fight to countries, taking imperialism, taking over countries, trying to, to expand. That's the concept of expansion, expansionism, expanding, trying to expand the land of Germany out of where Germany is supposed to be, trying to take over even the whole of Africa, take over the whole of Asia. It's not done. Everybody should cohabit. We should form an ecosystem. That's how God has done it. So how could somebody just rise up, boom, just like the former French leader, Bonaparte? I believe everybody here should have known about Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte, during his own days after the French Revolution, started, expanding, trying to expand, you understand? And the whole world, the other countries came together to balance his power. I told us something about balance of power yesterday. So they were trying to balance the power. That's why I won't blame America, in a way. So they were trying to balance the power of Adolf Hitler, who was killing almost everybody that was not a German at that time. And that was what led to America now going in August 1942 in Manhattan, city in America to establish what they call, the first atomic bomb plant, because it was a war they thought what's his name? The first atomic bomb plant, because it was a war they thought what's his name? Adolf Hitler win that war. You said the imaginary. If you have not heard about Adolf Hitler, just type Adolf Hitler of Germany and read how this man took over, and since he took over between 1929, 30, 31, 30, just go and read till that we heard that April, I think it was in April 24th in 1940, was it 43 or 45 that April, I think it was in April 24th in 1940, was it 43 or 45 that he committed suicide? Because Adolf Hitler at that time was so brutal, he was just killing everybody who was not a German. Do you understand? So nobody would blame America for that, and they went into war to balance the power of Germany. That was the major reason. Go read it anywhere. Should anybody tell you anything different, it's a lie. So it was just to quell this. You understand the devastating strength of that guy? Calm down. Everybody should be treated as a universal, or a global citizen. Not only, if you're not German, you are not a citizen of the world. That was the meaning of a universal, or a global citizen. Not only, if you're not German, you are not a citizen of the world. That was the meaning of Nazism. A-Z-I or N-A-Z-I, as some people call it. Nazism. So it was a Nazist Germany, Germany, a Nazist Germany of Adolf Hitler trying to take over the world. I have said on that. I want you to understand the actually, built that plant. But the mistake America did, the mistake they made, if you ask me, and I said it yesterday, was the fact that they didn't carry along other allied forces they were fighting together. And that was it. That was nuclear bombs, nuclear site of today. In 1942 August. America was nuclear bombs, nuclear site of today. In 1942 August. America was invited into the war. The war was being fought in Europe. Do you understand? And America, look, go and check out the map of the world. American continent is far from. America was invited into the war. The war was being fought in Europe. Do you understand? And America, look, go and check out the map of the world. American continent is far from Europe. So, and they invited America because of what America did at the Bolshevik War. America was invited into the war. The war was being fought in Europe. Do you understand? And America, look, go and check out the map of the world. American continent is far from Europe. So, and they invited America because of what America did at the Bolshevik War in 1917 during the Soviet Union Wahala. Yam pepper scatter, like people will say it. And America just came and handled the whole thing. And that was how America came to limelight. Yeah? This America, America not fight war before. Except the time they fought for their independence in 1776, July 4th. They fought for their independence from Britain and France. Britain and France didn't grant them independence easily. They fought for it. And after then, they stopped. They didn't fight with anybody. Except the civil wars they fought within America. But they didn't fight with anybody. So, go and read and check out America. America fights with anybody. Except the civil wars they So, and America was invited to Bolshevik War. They helped. Then, during the 1939 Wahala, America was invited to Bolshevik War. They helped. Then, during the 1939 Wahala, and Britain was shaking. France was shaking. Britain invited France. France invited Britain. And, come, let's tame this guy. There was a guy invited during the Bolshevik Russia. And that was America. That was how they invited America into the war in 1939. And America joined them. So they were joining military, forces from. So you see military forces from Russia, from France, from Britain, and from America to fight against Germany of Adolf Hitler. Then Japan joined Germany, and Italy and some other countries. I won't mention their names, but the prominent ones were those three I mentioned, and these ones, 3 plus America, making 4. So America was supposed to carry them along and say, at Manhattan, I am building, an atomic plant to try something more atomic that nobody has ever used before. Just like a gas to take out this guy, because they've used almost all their military strength. Right? They weren't winning the battle. And what up? Now, that was how, and America was building it secretly. That was a mistake America made. According to diplomatic, that was the only mistake. But if you ask me, America did not do mistakes that much. He was only trying to calm the world. And he used atomic bomb on Japan, Nagasaki and Hiroshima in August 6th and 9th. And August 12th, the end of that war came. I think I said it yesterday. To the best of the knowledge of every right-thinking person, Britain, France, and Russia should appreciate America they invited in. Are you getting the gist now? Should appreciate America that, thank you, you help us win this war. Adolf Hitler. They started looking for Adolf Hitler everywhere in the world, honestly, at that time. Go and read stories about Adolf Hitler. People were just looking, where is this man that caused this wahala, that you know, that almost turned the whole world upside down. They were looking for him until they now knew that, they got to know. Nobody saw his dead body, his corpse till today. We only heard that perhaps he committed suicide. That's because he just ran away and nobody saw Adolf Hitler again. Go and read about him. Nobody buried Adolf Hitler. So the whole world was jubilating, hey, because their greatest ally was Japan, because Japan was, a world power, a world technological power. And Japan said, hey, after America used the first atomic bomb in the whole history of the world on Japan. And according to experts, I said it yesterday, the devastation, I'm coming there now, the devastation of using atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki on August 6th and 9th, 1945, that ended the war in August 12th, on August 12th, 1945, till daybreak, the effects are still there because of, the uranium involved. I'm talking about the chemicals that they just, pour. I will tell you the uranium involved. I'm talking about the chemicals that they just, pour. I will tell us how it works today. Now, that was in 1942. America built that place without telling the other Allied forces. Then in so that was in 1942. America built that place without telling the other Allied forces. Then in so everybody come on. Then when it was, I told us yesterday, I want to repeat it a bit. So on August 6th, US dropped the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima. Then August 9th on Nagasaki. August 6th, US dropped the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima. Then August 9th on Nagasaki. In fact, I wish you could see the because I just searched for it just to let you guys see what we're talking about. Then the war ended. Please be taking note of the years. Then on don't forget, that was August 12th that the whole war ended. Then when it was October, I told us something yesterday on August 29th, the whole war ended August 5. So on August, okay, before I get to that one. So in 1945, August 12th, the whole war ended. Listen. So, so when it was January 1946, I told us immediately after the war ended yesterday, on October 24th, that same 1945, the whole countries of the world at that time, including Germany, that they defeated. Germany was so ashamed of itself, so they scattered Germany. So they now came together. Oh yeah, let's establish what we call an international organization body that would be like a teacher upon all of us, a tutor, a supervisory body over all of us that would be more robust than League of Nations that collapsed earlier. Let us have the name known as United Nations Organization. That's how they started. So, and the sole and primary responsibility of United Nations Organization, I told us yesterday, is to ensure the world is not in disarray. All these countries respect themselves, to mutual agreements. If they want to see anyone who is becoming a crazy state, they combat that craziness in that state, in that country, and all of that. And they established UNO in 1945. When it was January, just barely 5 months after the establishment of UNO, UN now called atomic weapons. Are you getting it? UNO now called for, because I told you yesterday, immediately after the war ended on August 12th, Russia and Britain and France that were supposed to be appreciating US for using that to at least to defeat that crazy state called Germany at that time. We're so shocked that how could you use a kind of weapon we didn't know about, and that was what angered Russia. Russia picked up a fight with America. Why didn't you tell us? So you are so even of course when it is my turn tomorrow, it could be my turn tomorrow. So you use atomic bomb. So then Russia now decided to go have its own atomic plants, and that was what called for this first convention on 24th of January 1946. The UN now calls for elimination of atomic weapons. That everybody, please, Mona, no fight. To say, don't defeat Germany. Then Russia said to UN, why did America use atomic bomb without telling us? We are going to have our own. And UN said, don't have your own. Don't have. So from then, what we call Cold War, I told us yesterday, started. Until it spanned till even 1990. It was this very serious one between the Soviet Union and whenever I say Soviet Union, I'm talking about the former Belarus, name them, Russia, a lot of them like that, Georgia, all of them, that's, eastern part of Europe, they were together before they now disintegrated. That's what I meant. Georgia, all of them, that's, eastern part of Europe, they were together before they now disintegrated. That's what I meant by that. Now, in 1949, 29th of August 1949, barely how many years? 4 years after the Second World War. Then Soviet Union, in spite of all the calls of UNO, don't go that route, don't have your own nuclear weapon. The nuclear weapon America had was just to defeat this Adolf Hitler that was a tyrant, a very, brutal leader to the entire world. And Russia said no. Once America could do that without telling us, definitely America has an agenda. The Soviet Union now went ahead to test its own nuclear weapon for the first time. That was on 29th of August, and it became a wahala for UNO. UNO that was just formed now started, holding two superpowers. That was how Russia and America became the two bipolar powers. That's bi means two superpowers of the world, threatening themselves. You shouldn't have used it without telling me. Do you understand now? And America said, I only used it to better. No, I will have my own site. And America said, don't have your own site because it is so dangerous. When we used it on Nagasaki and Hiroshima at Japan, the effect is still there. Devastation is still there. People, in fact, the two communities we used it. Hey, when they plant anything there, of course, it won't grow. When you understand, it was a very dangerous chemical to use. Communities we used it. Hey, when they plant anything there, of course, it won't grow. When you understand, it was a very dangerous chemical to use. So when I want to my own, Russia is already saying I'm already having my own. That was why America Kokuma retained it. It saw that this Russia that should be happy that we use it. No. That was how the nuclear struggle began. Now, fast forward. Rapidly fast forward. I want to talk about something very important. Very important. Do you know the effect of, I'm almost rounding off now, the effect of a single nuclear warhead, nuclear weapon or nuclear warhead? Now, let me tell us. As of today, I thank God. Now, let me tell us. As of today, I thank God Almighty that the UN 1945, October 24th, were not for the establishment of UNO. I'm telling you, the second coming of our Lord Jesus Christ would have been sped off. Maybe our Lord Jesus Christ, of course, maybe God Almighty has not prepared to ask his only begotten Son to come back, the second time. Honestly, the whole world would have turned to ashes. I'm serious. Thank God for the UNO. I am not ready to be telling us the war they fought in 1970, there was a war they fought in 1951, the war they fought in 1950. No, because there is a point I want to drive home today, that America just helped the whole world to quell Third World War. I have seen a lot of videos today before I go into this, saying World War III has just been signed. World War III has just been flagged off. World War III has just been because of what America did. Calm down. No answer them. Relax. Drink your water. Take your food. Sleep. Honestly, with your two eyes closed. The Third World War, a pending Third World War, has just been honestly stopped by the actions of America. And that's what I'm explaining to you now. Now, between that 1949, August August 29 that told us that Russia now angrily went to establish its own nuclear site. And 1990, in fact, those years were referred to as the Cold War years. What's no Cold War? We know we've got three types of war. We have Cold War, Warm War, and Hot War. I repeat, Cold War, Warm War, and Hot War. Hot War is the one they are fighting right now between Russia and Ukraine, or Israel and Iran. Or between Israel and the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. That's Hot War. Warm War is countdown to Hot War. That's what we experienced 6 days ago and today, when America promised Iran, take off your nuclear sites, those three most dangerous sites. They've got many, but those three that he mentioned in that video, take those sites off so that the whole world will rest. And Iran is and that was why in diplomacy they call it warm war. The war has not been fought, but everybody in the whole world is shaking. Hey, in diplomacy they call it warm war. The war has not been fought, but everybody in the whole world is shaking. Hey, when will America strike? Well, how will Iran retaliate? That's warm war. The preparation for Cold War, you don't feel any. In fact, as a matter of fact, there's no firing or gunshot at all. It is just the two superpower nations looking at themselves in the eyes, and they know that in fact, America will be saying, I hate Russia, and Russia will be saying, I hate America. So anyone that is an ally to America, Russia hates. Anyone that's an ally to Russia, America does not want to have. Then I hate America. So anyone that is an ally to America, Russia hates. Anyone that's an ally to Russia, America does not want to have anything doing with them. The war really ended officially in the year 1990. So those terrible years, they were terrible years. See how many nuclear warhead that only Russia and America had, and some other of their allies. That's why I'm painting that picture for us to understand. A single nuclear warhead could kill hundreds of thousands of people. I won't say more than that. Just like what happened at Nagasaki and Hiroshima in August 6th and 9th, 1945. So that's why everybody's praying they shouldn't release that uranium. Iran should not, release, any of the tip of that warhead, nuclear warhead. It's just like a gas. Boom. They shouldn't release it. They should not release it. It's so dangerous to the entire world. And look at it. During the Cold War, how many warheads did they have? In fact, they were having about 70,000. Just one warhead could clear a whole country. And they were having about 70,000 warheads. So, how many? Okay, what is our population, for crying out loud, in the whole world? If they should detonate, I believe we know the meaning of detonating, or detonation. That is okay. I promise I won't be using BB grammar. If they should release the fuse of one of those gas cylinders, I think that one is good for everybody to understand. If they should release the cylinder and the head of the cylinder of any of those, of those uraniums, the whole, I'm telling you, and just one would clear one country. How many countries do we have in the world? 196 under UNO. So if one nuclear warhead could clear one country, how many countries do we have in the world? 196 under UNO. So if one nuclear warhead could clear a country, how many countries do we have in the world? 196 under UNO. So if one nuclear warhead could clear a whole country, then Russia between 1945 and 1990, they were having about 7,000 of it. Now, UN now started all concepts, all strategies to talk to them and all of that. They now reduced, it to about, to around 12,300, 16,000 from 70,000, and everybody started clapping. Thank God. So meaning that America started destroying, by itself, started destroying all those sites. It was because of the fear of what Russia could do. Do you understand now? That was why America was building more. Russia, don't try it. I was trying to use that one to, do you understand? And Russia said, no, Russia was just building. And America started building more. That was why it got to that level. And when UNO now started persuading all of that, then Russia started destroying it. America started destroying. As we speak right now, come and see the number of, I'm taking us to destroying it. America started destroying. As we speak right now, come and see the number of, I'm taking us towards almost rounding off now. Come and see the number of countries, that have nuclear warheads, right? At present, there are just 9 countries in the world that possess nuclear weapons. And we've got how many countries in the world? Just type Canada. Type Canada on your Google. Does Canada have a nuclear warhead? You will see. The capital is a capital no, N-O. I told us yesterday, Canada, not the fight. Canada will just be like, so when America invited Canada in 1949, I told us yesterday that America invited Canada, come now, let's go and establish NATO. That's North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Organizations. Canada said, America, I know they fight. America said, just come, just follow me. America did not want to go alone because but Canada was a bad market for America. Very interesting. Now, so the number of just 9 of them that but Canada was a bad market for America. Very interesting. Now, so the number of just 9 of them that have got nuclear weapons in the world today, then why not all the 196 countries under UNO? That's the big question I will answer. I might answer before I go. I've got no much time. Now, Russia, of course, we all know why Russia, because Russia was so angry in 1945. In 1949, they opened their first atomic site. Then United States already had one since 1942 that they used in defeating Adolf Hitler. Are you getting it? Then China, being a socialist nation, that in fact China was one of the very first 5 countries that Russia rushed to. So you guys are just there. America, I just joined America to defeat Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler's Germany. And America is so corny. You better go and have your own site. Do you understand? That's why China started building. Because China being an economic power, started building. Then France already, I told us yesterday, France was once a superpower nation ruling the world. In fact, during the era of Napoleon Bonaparte and what have you. Then United Kingdom, United Kingdom has her own. United Kingdom was not supposed to have, but America and United Kingdom, they left for life. So, and what happens to America happens to United Kingdom. I don't know why God has bonded them like that. United Kingdom does not want to have, but when America is facing hell, in the hands of Russia, and America just told Britain, you better go, and Great Britain, you better go, don't worry, I'm already building one small one. So, then Pakistan has one, India, ordinary India, that doesn't know how to fight at all. Then Israel, of course, in fact, one of the biggest allies of America for life. Then Israel, of course, in fact, one of the biggest allies of America for life. It is not because they are born by the same parents. So, but I told us yesterday in my previous videos that is because of the interests, economic and political, particularly economic interest of America, in the Middle East. And that Gaza Strip is where they're taking their ships through. That's just it. In fact, I'm just trying to make it look like a drama so that you will understand and enjoy it. Then North Korea. I mentioned one guy's name yesterday, Kim Jong-un, that just rose up some years ago. He just started building, not quite long. It's not even up to 10 years. He just rose up and started building, a nuclear site. So about 9 of them. Then of all these 9, don't forget, Iran is not here. So this publication was done before Iran came on board. Then Iran now joined now. There's this watch, we call it watchdog, international. Mojala or the Aproko agency of UNO that is checking all these countries to ensure no one is secretly building a nuclear weapon site. Do you understand? And they always report to the United Nations Organization, Security Council, and they would assess their reports. Okay, what's happening to all these countries of the world, and blah blah blah. Then America, being the police nation of the world, America is just sitting like it's just feeling like we are sitting on a keg of gunpowder since 1945. That Russia has been angry about the winning and defeating of Adolf Hitler with its atomic bomb in Japan. Do you understand? Isn't it interesting? Very interesting. So there's no third world war. Thank God for America's decision last night. Now, why are other countries not having nuclear weapons? UNO is the cause. That the Aproko agency. If they should, like my country, I'm my president. That's my JJ president. And Eleni JJ make us want build nuclear weapon for what? For what? No, there is an adage in my mother's tongue that says, what's that? Ishiomo ni mu omo joki gbe. Ishiomo, I don't know how to interpret that for English. Okay, like saying it's your behavior, the behaviors of any child. It depends on the behaviors of any child that makes that child go fortify himself or herself somewhere. Well, once you are not an armed robber, why would you go to a herbalist to help you fortify yourself? You want to be disappearing and appearing. Do you understand? So if you do not belong to a gang that is doing something shady, you don't need all these charms to make you appear and disappear. Do you understand? So Nigeria does not need nuclear sites. I say it. Yeah. You don't need all these charms to make you appear and disappear. Do you understand? So Nigeria does not need nuclear sites. I say it. Yeah. I can boldly be. Cameroon does not need it. Kenya does not need it. We don't need all this because we are not planning to fight ourselves. We are only planning to cohabit and become friends, brothers and sisters for the rest of the world. But unfortunately, what America did to quell and to tame, and to stop the craziness of, Adolf Hitler's Germany, the Nazist Germany at that time, angered Russia. And Russia now took offense. I won't blame Russia as well, because Russia is even trying to secure its own territorial integrity. Can you see? That's why I said I won't blame anybody. Nobody to blame. I'm not blame Russia as well, because Russia is even trying to secure its own territorial integrity. Can you see? That's why I said I won't blame anybody. Nobody to blame. America did that to secure the world. And you understand? Because say the truth. Let's say the truth here. During the Nazist Germany of Adolf Hitler, if it was allowed to continue like that, as you and I are watching ourselves today, honestly, it's even possible I don't bear Ayo. Actually, it's possible my Ayo is Ayoxa. That's German, attaching some little German to my name. Everybody will be German, German slave. British will be called a German slave. Imagine. Austria will be known as a German slave. Germany was going to rule the world at that time. So America tried to save the world. And for me, America was begging Russia, don't go and have, I think that time should be that President Stalin at that time of Russia, at that time should have faced UNO and said, talk to America. Let's go and, supervise it. Let America destroy this thing. And it would have been destroyed. So should America try to go build it secretly? Thank God for technology. They've got satellites to monitor America. Then it would have ended there. But when Russia now took, of course, offense, and from there I started, instead of doing that, Russia did not do that. So I'm not blaming Russia. I'm just saying the truth. That was the way Russia could react to that shock. Because it was so shocking. Now, and Russia started, talking to other nations, it was trying to seek for, you understand, trying to play the victim role here. Come, oh, you better go and have your own, instead of calling America to order through UNO. Do you understand? But it has happened. So there's no third world war. What could have been third world war was those 3 sites being built by, Iran. And Iran, according to their foreign affairs ministers, this minister this morning said, there are 3 sites. There are most prominent 3 sites of nuclear weapon that America came to destroy, against this morning, in the middle of the night against this morning. Were nuclear sites of peace. That's the name they call it. Nuclear site of peace that America has, gone, has violated diplomatic, rules by leaving New York City to come bombard their nuclear site. Now, the question is, those nuclear sites, according to the watchdog agency, that's the APROCO agency of UNO, when they got there and they measured it by technology, they measured it, okay, what was their report? Their report to UNO is that, what Iran is already having underground could swallow the whole world, though, and that's the truth. And why was Iran doing that? I am not blaming Iran as well, honestly. Iran is a sovereign state. Iran is supportive of the Palestinians in Gaza Strip. And that's why Iran supported Hamas to, begin to carry arms against Israel. Do you understand? Because according to Donald Trump in his address to the whole world today, he tagged, the story is just too sweet. He tagged, he called the Iranian state #1 state sponsor. That's the name. In fact, I'm quoting him verbatim now. He said Iran is #1 state sponsor of terror. No. As a diplomat, I know Iran is not #1 state sponsor of terror. America used that word through Donald Trump today because UNO has tagged, Hamas a terrorist group. Do you understand? And the Hamas guys, are they really terrorist groups? If we say they are terrorist groups, then we should tag those youth wing arm of ANC, Africa National Congress of South Africa, that liberated the blacks from the whites in South African land between 1656 and 1990. We all know the story. But what happened in South Africa in 1963 when our great Nelson Mandela was incarcerated in his own land by the whites, and it's not their land. You remember the Umkhonto Wesizwe? That's their name. Thank you, Jesus. I was trying to remember the name. Umkhonto Wesizwe. It was because they were using diplomacy, and it wasn't working. And look at Nelson Mandela was incarcerated, picked up in his own land by whites, and nobody could do that one to them in their own land. Because of course they used to bear Boer. They were from Holland of today. What happened? That little piece of handwriting, that little piece of letter that our great Nelson Mandela, great Madiba of Africa, wrote in the prison, and he smuggled it through the cook, and we all know the story, and sent it to the youth wing of ANC. That was what triggered them. In fact, Nelson Mandela just told them that you have used diplomacy, you have used talk. They didn't release me, and why not carry arm, begin to destroy their installations? And that was so. Would you now say they are those guys, Umkhonto Wesizwe guys, fighting for their freedom? Would you now say they are terrorist guys? So the Hamas, if you ask me, they are not terrorists. They are only fighting for their territory, and that's Gaza Strip. And if you look at Gaza Strip very well, the people that are predominant there are Palestinians. But it's just because America is so afraid and scared of its interests in the Middle East, taking their, of course, their trade, through that place. Go and check Gaza Strip. In the map, you know what I'm trying to say. So it's just the game nations play. So I can't blame Iran, honestly, for having a nuclear site. It's having a nuclear site because, Russia na my paddy. He asked me, I go get my own, I don't get my own. America, where they talk, you don't get you. This one don't get you, understand? But it's not every country of the world that has it. Because why nuclear weapons? I'm ending on that, honestly. Why nuclear weapon? Okay, before that, who has the most nuclear weapons in the world right now? It's Russia, and followed by United States. Can you see why I appreciate United States? Not even United States having the largest reserves of nuclear weapon. It's Russia. And why is Russia not a threat to America? If I should go into that, I won't end. It's very interesting, just like a drama. In fact, Russia that has the biggest. America did not go there to take out their sites. But Iran that just have a little, but that little of Iran could clear the whole world. Oh my God. So, so what does these countries, or what do these countries mean, by having nuclear weapons? For what? It's just because of what I just explained to us. So it's just, I will have this powder, this gas is so dangerous, so lethal. So that's the word, the best word to use. So lethal, so devastating to my enemy. But forgetting that if you should open the tip of that cylinder, boom, here. If you should open it here, it will even wipe out many of your own citizens. Uranium, you are joking with uranium. It's a very dangerous. You won't hear, like I told us yesterday, you won't hear gunshots. People will be dying. We don't need it in this world. All we need is peace. Peace and not tactical peace. We need complete peace. Thank God for these organizations that have, that are now everywhere in the world. That are now everywhere in the world. Plus 196 countries under UNO come together and say, today we are jubilating, their next annual general meeting now. We are jubilating, because we are jubilating, let us pop, champagne. Popping champagne over what? Russia has decided to take out all its, nuclear weapon sites. America has done that. Then you start Israel, do yours. Then Pakistan, do yours. India, do yours. 10 of them. Then Iran still has some sites. Imagine Israel took out 40 sites within 4 days. 40 of the sites. Then, but America now said, okay, no, those 40 sites are not as important as these ones they came to destroy, because those ones were actually having, housing the most dangerous, volume of, the nuclear weapons of Iran. Then what do you want to kill for Kigbeshi when you are not a thief? Kill for Kigbeshi. What you want to take? I like this word. What's the name of this thing in Igbo land? I like that Igbo land. Odeshi. So what are you doing with Odeshi when you are not a Oshami call, hit me, baga. If you cut me, it won't enter, it won't pierce me. What for? We are supposed to come to this world, live our lives to the fullest, have our transnational relations with ourselves. All of us, see ourselves as, as global citizens, and no narcissism, no racism, no, you understand? Let all of us cohabit in an ecosystem of love. And honestly, finally, the 28 other nuclear endorsers, my message to you guys. These countries, Anje Kuru Kotonlawo, àwọn kan tún gbowó ẹ̀sà wo. If, in fact, imagine UNO. UN established since 1945. It has not collapsed. Thank God for UN, United Nations Organization. Either it's headquartered in US or whatever. People are saying it shouldn't be, or it should be US. It shouldn't be in US. Or that will not be the concern right now. US, either you like it or not, since 1917, and finally in 1945 became the police nation of the world. Either you like it or not, they are the biggest military power of the world right now. Right, China is the biggest economic power. I told us yesterday. And Russia is the biggest fearful power of the world. Why North Korea? That small nation with that small guy is the biggest troublesome nation of the world as we speak right now. So what are these 28? I will end on this now. Note, what are these 28 countries, doing by endorsing the usage of nuclear weapon? Una go feel muzzle when it comes. If a nuclear weapon should be detonated on your, can you live? It's a gaseous weapon. You just breathe in and you fall down. You breathe in, you fall down. You won't see they hear gunshots, you go to run. Now, but this one, if you run here, it's in the air. If you run here, it's in the air. You inhale it, you die. We don't need it. So I'm just using this opportunity, the opportunity of this video, to plead with Albania, Armenia, Australia, even Australia. Australia, we say they still fight with their natural disaster. They go there endorse usage of nuclear weapons. I don't know who will come and attack Australia and New Zealand. Go and check them on the map of the world. They are very far away from the rest. So Belarus, very close to Russia. Belgium, very close to Spain and France, you know, Bulgaria. We all know Bulgaria, then Canada. Canada, we know the fight too. See, Canada can't choke here because America is always going like the Crown. No, like Igbe, while Canada is the Crown. Whatever America does, Canada will say, okay, big brother, well, let's go. But you know, I know the fight too, but it's always following America. Then, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, and a lot of them, like about 28 of them endorsing the usage of nuclear weapons. Please, all the endorsers of a lot of them, like about 28 of them endorsing the usage of nuclear weapons. Please, all the endorsers of nuclear weapon usage, stop it now. We are not interested. And for those 3 sites in Iran, you took it out, but you didn't touch the innocent citizens of Iran. They didn't die. You didn't fire arms at the citizens of Iran. Israel, stop firing innocent citizens of Iran. They didn't die. You didn't fire arms at the citizens of Iran. Israel, stop firing Iran, please. And Iran, stop retaliating, because Donald Trump already told you if you should retaliate because they destroyed those 3 dangerous sites, then you will have the whole of armory of America to contend with. So don't retaliate. It is just the 3rd World War that was just ended. It's just to quench and quell the tension in the whole world. We want to live in a peaceful world. It is just the 3rd World War that was just ended. It's just to quench and quell the tension in the whole world. We want to live in a peaceful world. I want to say, everybody that took Israel here, thank you very much, and God bless you.